Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about the recent controversy that just happened in the SPL relegations. I thought about doing this video yesterday, but it seemed that everything was too emotional and too hostile yesterday, so I waited until today to kind of throw out some facts on kind of what was going down. So, for those of you that don't know what happened, Dignitas, the European team, and Papi'S, the European team, were facing off together, right, in the relegations. One single best of five. The winner of the series goes into the Pro League. The losers have to go back and fight through the Challenger Cup again. So in the first game, Dignitas destroys the Papi'S, right? Everybody thought that was going to happen. They're like, no big deal. It's going to be a 3-0 sweep. This is going to be exactly what was supposed to happen. Whatever, who cares? But in the second game, the Papi'S came out and actually dominated Dig, right? Like, dominated. Like, it was like, what the? This is crazy. This, like, team out of nowhere just destroyed Dig. And then here's where the controversy comes in. In the third game, the Papi'S are destroying Dig again. Like, badly. It was like 7 or 8K lead. It was bad. Somebody disconnects on the Papi'S, okay? They disconnect. They use all their pauses. He doesn't come back in. The game continues. The game's over. Dig wins, and then Dig wins the next game, okay? So that's the controversy. He didn't come back, and the game was played. So one of the big complaints was Dig didn't give Papi'S any of their pauses. Okay, this was a big thing. People were like, why didn't Dig give Papi'S any of their pauses? Because you could do that if you want to, be sportsmanlike. So the last occasion I can remember of a team giving another team pauses was when Dig had a DC, back when they were North American, okay, the North American team. COG Prime at the time gave them one or two of their pauses, right, so the member could come back. The member from Dig never came back, and Dig Janus ultied through to their base and ended the game while COG Prime was kind of messing around just because they didn't want it to be too bad. Okay? That's the last time another team gave their pauses to another team. I feel like a lot of people forgot about that, and I don't think anybody's ever going to give their pauses to another team again. You can't afford to be losing SPL games or not making it into the SPL because you didn't give the team, because you wanted to be the sportsman-like thing. So that kind of throws that argument out the window. Dig wants to win just as bad as the Papi'S did. It wasn't their job to give them pauses. The last time it happened, it left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. So that's kind of that, right? So the big problem, though, came when it was found out the reason why he couldn't get back in the game wasn't an internet problem, right? If it was an internet problem, people would have gone, damn, that's really unfortunate. I wish it wouldn't have happened. What the problem was it was actually a Smite menu glitch. So it was client-side Smite that wouldn't let him load back in the game. Yeah, shit just hit the ceiling. So it was not his fault. It was the Smite fault. It was Smite's fault that didn't let him back in the game that made him lose the game, right? And they had a huge lead at the time. So people were freaking out and everything was going crazy. But the thing we need to talk about here, the first part of this is going to be basically that protocol was followed, right? So there's a set lined out rules that says if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this, right? Everything was followed. They had the pause times. They had this, that, and the other. He couldn't get back in the game. It doesn't really matter what the rules don't clarify really, what reason they can't get back in the game, if it matters or not. It's just if they can't get back in, the game has to continue. There's a broadcast, there's this, there's that, right? So protocol was followed. It sucks what happened, but you can't blame, the people that were following the rules, right? It's like, this is what they say to do. This is what we have to do. What I think should come from this is that there needs to be some sort of change in the rules, right? Something from Hi-Rez that lets you know, hey, we've never dealt with this situation before. The protocol wasn't prepared for this, and now we have updated the rulings in order to better deal with the situation. What could that something be? I'm obviously not a master of all things rules. I don't know exactly what it entails, but I feel like something along the big problem that people don't understand is that rules have to be specific, right? People are like, well, just do this, 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 and this, but it's like very generic things. Then it's like, well, when is a victory imminent, right? It's like, if victory is imminent, or like, then do this, that, or the other. And it's like, it's hard to tell when those kind of things are happening. And so you need to have some sort of specific rule, right? Where you can say, if the team is in a lead, all right, if they have more than 5K gold and the game is sub 20 minutes, right? There has to be some sort of specific ruling, right? So they can be like, this is yes, yes, and yes. They all check mark, right? And then have the thing be like, and then somebody can't get in the game because of a Smite client issue, right? So it's on our end. There's nothing the guy can do about it because it's on our end. Then we can follow the protocol and we can do a remake, right? Because if they would have been losing at the time, nobody would have cared. If they were down 8K and it happened, it would have been like, whatever, they were losing anyway. But if you're on the winning team at the moment, if you're, you have this check mark, and this check mark, and there's a Smite client side issue, it's not your internet or whatever, you're in the TeamSpeak, you're talking, you're like, man, I'm right here, I'm in the Smite game, blah, it just won't let me in, There's got to be X amount of rules, but I think this will be a good opportunity for Hi-Rez to take this and like grow from this and be like, hey, we've updated the rules. There's now something to deal with this situation, and that way we can move forward from this. I feel bad for the Papi'S and what happened to them. Unfortunately, bad things happen. I hope they play in the Challenger Cup this year. I think they're a great team. I think they have a great chance. Shout out to Dig for trying hard, man. People were ripping on them, but when it's the SPL on the line, man, you don't just go soft because they have a DC. I don't think he would have been able to get back in the game, period, anyway, if it was a client-side issue. And so it's just unfortunate. But I hope you guys enjoyed this take. If you have any things to contribute, please leave them in the comments. Let me know what you think about my ruling. If you think they should add a rule maybe now to the official rules to kind of figure that out. Or if you think they should take it a different path. Thanks, guys, for coming out to the video. Shout out to Woojer and the Papi'S for playing great. And I wish you guys the best of luck in the Challenger Cup. Have a twitchin' day, y'all.